Hi, Democrats. Today is Monday, June 21st. Hey, Wayne. Okay, so every day I come, I'm going to talk about bill elections until I can't anymore. And so the bill that I want to talk about today, I am sure that you guys are aware that they're supposed to be voting on the S1, which is the For the People Act. This bill addresses voting rights, right? So it talks about things like automatic and same-day voters registration, independent redistricting for our congressional districts, election integrity, campaign finance, voter access, all the things that we care about and we talk about all the time. So now they're talking about it on a federal level. And if they codify it on a federal level, it will make it easier for us to do it here on a state level. So of course we support it. Now, if this is your first time watching me, I'm going to surprise you. I always talk about advocacy. If it's not your first time, I always talk about advocacy. So what I'm asking is that nationally, we're trying to do a national call-in day where tomorrow we call all of our senators and tell them the importance of passing the For the People Act. So I am asking you, because it's late in the day and you don't have time to do it now, I'm asking you to help us flood the senators tomorrow. I'm asking you to help us call, and our senators are Langford and Inhofe, right? So I'm going to give you their phone numbers so that you have them, and you don't have to look for them, that you have them, and I want you to call them both. Call both of them and tell them that it's important that they vote yes for the people on the For the People Act. So Inhofe, his phone number is 202-224-4721. 202-224-4721. Call him and I encourage him to vote yes. And then we have Langford. Langford's number is 202-224-5754. Again, call him and encourage him to vote yes. And maybe they will surprise us and they will vote for things that mean something to us. But here's the importance. We're Democrats, they're Republicans, and you're thinking, what's the use of calling them? They're not going to do what we ask them. They represent us. They represent us, and we need to call so that they can't honestly say that they're only hearing for people who are telling them not to vote for it. We need to call so much that their assistants have a tally sheet of people who are calling so that they can't honestly say that they didn't get any calls. So tomorrow, I need you to call and tell them to vote for the People Act. Okay, so that's today's advocacy and that's today's bill. Now, I want to bring it back locally. This because it's For the People Act and it's about voting rights. I want to bring it back locally. Right now, as I'm talking to you guys, we're in the middle of a voter purge in Oklahoma. So while federally, we're trying to figure out how to make it okay for people to do same-day voters registration or automatic voters registration, and we're trying to reduce how people are being kicked off the rolls. Here on a local level, we are preparing to purge people off of the rolls. So they're sending out postcards, and they've sent out tons of postcards. So they're sending out postcards for you to verify your address. Send it back. It's not just some nonsensical postcard. It's the postcard that they use to verify that you're still at that address. Go ahead and send it back. And if they have your email, they've been emailing. So if you get one, don't give up any personal information, but just verify that you still are at that address so that you don't get purged. Here's what happens if you get purged. They don't send you a notice telling you you're purged. They just erase you from the rolls. You go bipping down to your precinct and you're not able to vote because you're not in the little fancy schmancy book. So return the postcard if you get the postcard. Stay on the voters registration rolls. And if they ask you to verify your address, do verify your address. Don't give up any personal information, though. You don't want to be caught by the scammers. All righty. So the elected that I want to highlight today is former President Barack Obama. He put out an op-ed about the importance of For the People Act. And it's true. The insurrection. Hey, Amber. Hey, Cherie. The insurrection is a direct result of folks trying to interfere with counting specific voters. And that's a whole nother day. We were not going to get into all that, but that's because people were monkeying around with who's eligible to vote and whose vote should count. And President Obama rightfully pointed out that if we don't get the For the People Act, we are setting ourselves up for the kind of behavior that happened during the insurrection. And I'm not going to call it anything but an insurrection. And I know that the media is trying to soften the language, but nope, it was an insurrection, and we need to not forget that. So I want to highlight former President Obama, who doesn't speak out that much. But this is a good nugget for him to be speaking out because he knows he has a voice, and I'm glad that he's using it for this cause. All righty, so that's my bill, my elected, and the elections I want to talk about are June 13th in communities all over Oklahoma. On July 13th, there are propositions to be voted on. It could be in your city, your town, your county. Go out to your the Oklahoma State Election Board voter portal, put in your name, birthday, and see if you have any elections coming up. Get yourself familiar with your propositions so that when you show up, you can just get in and get out, but make sure that you show up. My big thing is every time there's a ballot at your precinct, you need to be there voting for it, or you should have already sent in your absentee ballot. But no, you need to be there voting. Every time that there's a ballot for you, you need to vote. That way you don't even get considered for the voter purge, because the voter purge starts with the folks who have skipped a couple of elections. Don't be that person. All righty, that's all I have for today. Thank you so very much for joining me, and I will be back tomorrow at 4:15. Have a great one.